For me, Pudtallica was a risk that I was willing to take. There's these three guys I've never met before, and they just wanted to rock. I remember Jim called me up and he said, "Man, I want to make an album." And that's essentially the story of Pudtallica and their debut album, the Crack album. Their main riff in Dream the Dragon Track 3 was the first riff I've ever written. Essentially the greatest riff in the whole album. I remember when we were recording the drums for Dream the Dragon. It wasn't really too good.
I remember the guys came up to me and said, "Rob Stone, we want you to produce our album." I didn't know whether to take the risk or not.
This is the Dream Dragon riff. After with the Dream Dragon riff, the guy said, "Man, you've really earned your wings today." I'll always remember that. Dream the Dragon, for me, was ultimately the ultimate road dog song. Everyone experiences what was in the song on the road.
I remember the drum riff at the end of Dream the Dragon was the heaviest thing I've ever heard in my life. That Dream the Dragon drum riff was the last thing I heard when I was getting my prostate checked just before the doctor, I remember with all the trouble we had with the drum recording in Dream the Dragon, eventually Jim just got really pissed off and threw the drumstick. The drumstick and it hit a wall, bounced back and hit the drum kit and made a perfect sound. Yeah, I remember that. That was like the greatest thing ever. It's a story I'm going to tell my grandchildren for sure. That drum riff was amazing. I remember all the guys saying, "Man, that was the best thing ever." That drum riff was just so heavy. We already had the drum riffs and the guitar riffs in the bag. All we needed was the lyrics. Phil just sat down and wrote them, and they were amazing. When I was writing the lyrics to Dream the Dragon, I just wanted to write about something that would inspire people. So far, what if you were on a bus and you needed to take a piss? We were all pretty proud of Phil with those lyrics. They just brought a tear to our eyes. It was heavy yet emotional at the same time. The bass in the album wasn't as great as I thought it could be. It was the first album. We were just young and didn't know a lot about recording music. We knew a lot about music though. At the start of Dream the Dragon, it says, "Gotta stop, gotta get off this bandwagon. Gotta stop, gotta dream the dragon." The bandwagon's what we called our tour bus. Although the Crack album was our first album, we had toured before with other bands as like to introduce the bands and stuff. Yeah, so we had toured, we didn't have a bandwagon. The Dream Dragon is about this time when we were touring with Ozzy Osbourne and we drank a little too much beer and we're on the road and we really had to go. We kept on begging the bus driver to stop and let us go, like to stop and Dream the Dragon, but it was a while before he actually did stop. He didn't have much respect for a no-name band. We already had the first track in the bag, Dream the Dragon. So we set to work on the second track, Burning Nameless. Burning Anus was probably the best song on the whole album. The riff in it wasn't as good as Drain the Dragon's riff, but Burning Anus was much more emotional. Much more about here. I found it easier to record the drums in Burning Anus, and it was just a better song. The story of how Burning Anus came about is funny. Yeah, Burning Anus came about one night when we were really hungry, so we decided to get some Indian food, some curry. Big mistake. That night after we ate the curry, we were lying out to the toilet, and when I was sitting on the toilet, it just came to me. I thought of the perfect tune. After that, the lyrics just popped into my head. It was magnificent. It was great. Very, very great.
The guys asked me to record a guitar solo and write a guitar solo for Burning Anus. It took me all night to write and record that solo, and this is what I came up with. For some reason the guys didn't really like it. I don't know why to this day. So I spent another whole night and came up with this. Bill's first guitar solo was crap. The second one, it really summed up the whole Burning Anus song. It was emotional. This is essentially the tune, the main riff for Burning Anus. Of course, it's great.
I remember Phil was so proud of that riff, and it was great. There's no denying that. But Phil didn't really have as much skill as Bill did in writing guitar riffs.
I remember when we were recording the album, we had a few debates on where each track would be on the album. We decided Drain the Dragon would be at track 3 and be the last single to be released, and Burning Anus be track 2. I remember listening to the album on the radio and hearing the guitar riffs in Drain the Dragon, Burning Anus. I was thinking, man, this band should be big. So I gave a few people a call, and next thing I know, Pudtallica, the biggest thing in the world. I never think myself, these guys are bigger than Jeebus. I remember waking up one morning and turning on the TV and seeing an ad for our album on there, and I knew our childhood dreams have come true. We've got an album released. That's big. The guy's first album is still big today and still sells in the millions each year for albums. It's better than what we expected. I'm just so proud of the guys, and Rob Stone had the album. It's done great. It's 10 years later and the album's still doing great, and I think it will continue to do great until that music dies.
Yeah, I'm just so proud of the guys and the job they've done. And the job I've done and we've all done. I remember seeing them all over newspapers when the album was released. I was just so proud that day. But it's been a while since we last made an album, but 2 years. And that new album coming out, It Ain't Anger, will hopefully do as good as the Crack album.